You made an excellent point about the list in Gypsy's home being for everyone else, and it very well could be. So I have been speaking about Gypsy Rose since before she got out of prison, and people are asking me, how do I know so much about narcissism? How do I know so much about ABUSE? And it's because I have firsthand experience with pretty much every trauma that you think a person can endure. I have lived experience with. I have been through adoption. I have been through SA. I have been through domestic violence. I have been through financial abuse. I have been through religious abuse. I have also been homeless. I have also been addicted to drugs and alcohol. I have also been ABUSED by narcissists. I was also abused by my mother. So I have a lot of lived experience with trauma, self-destruction, personality disorders, therapy, recovery, and all of those things because I have personally lived it. People were asking me to share my story, but there is honestly so much that I have gone through that it would, I don't even know where to start to even begin to share the things that I have gone through. Sometimes it feels easier for someone to ask me a question, that way I can just answer, because for me to start on my own, just talking about my own experience, it's very hard for me to do. I am trying to learn how to get better at opening up without questions being asked, but I have had my traumas used against me in the past, so I am very careful now with what I share and who I share it with. But that is a little bit about me and what some of the things that I have been through and how I'm able to recognize the abuse that is going on between Gypsy and her current partner Ken and her previous partner Ryan, again because I've lived it. So if you have questions about the things that I've been through, that would be fine to ask. Again, I am very careful about the things that I tell about myself because of, having my past used against me before. I appreciate everyone so much for being supportive and being here on my page and us kind of working together to expose the lies that Gypsy has done over the last year and a half and even before that. People think that my whole life revolves around her, and that's not true in the slightest. I do content creation for fun. It's like a little hobby of mine. I work full time and I own a dog grooming business. I also have 2 children. I also engage in other activities outside of social media. So there's a lot of things that I do. However, when I see that there are constant injustices and we are enabling and excusing someone's behavior, my justice sensitivity complex finds it necessary to hold that person accountable, and that's the reason why I have been so on Gypsy, because I feel like no one has ever held her accountable, and she even admitted that nobody has ever held her accountable. And I think it's up to us as a society to let these outlets that are, profiting off of her, to let them know that we are not going to continue to enable her behaviors and let her get away with hurting other people. She has used this platform and others to cause harm to other people, mainly Ryan Anderson. However, she did utilize social media in order to commit her very first crime against her mother. And that's why I started speaking about Gypsy Rose. And also because of all the abuses that I have gone through, I never once thought about harming another person. And to me, it felt like, obviously, that is an excuse because, of course, you've committed a crime. So what are you going to do now? You are going to claim abuse in order to get off of that crime. She's not the only person who has used abuse as a way to deflect accountability from her crime. She's probably one of the only people who has used it and then has amassed such a public platform after being released from her crime. But it's not abnormal for criminals to cry abuse when they are being confronted with having to be accountable for their actions. And we've seen on numerous occasions how Gypsy likes to make excuses for all of the things that she does. You know, it's never her fault. It's always somebody else's. And it's time for her to be held accountable for her actions, for what she did before and what she is continuing to do. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!